Hi, I'm Jessica, and my little brother has Down syndrome.
Hey,
Hey,
what's your name?
I'm Ryan. What's up, man?
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually not a bad thing at all. It just means he's different from me and from you, and that's okay. So I want you to understand that he isn't Down syndrome, he has Down syndrome. And I don't think having it identifies him as a person. There are so many great things about him that make him the wonderful, amazing kid that he is. And Down syndrome is a part of that, but it's not the only thing. So when James Ryan was born, the doctors told my parents that he would probably never really be normal. Obviously, because he was born with Down syndrome, so they told them that he would never eat normally, play normally, or speak normally. But he really did defy all odds, and he plays on a baseball team with his friends, and his favorite food is spaghetti, and he loves to hang out with his friends and just play video games just like any normal 13-year-old, which is really great. And it's amazing because he proved those doctors wrong, and it just shows that he really is just another kid in middle school. And I think that just goes to show that, even though he was born with Down syndrome, he's not different than anybody else. So if I were really just to break down what Down syndrome is and what special needs is, I would just say slower development and slower learning. This doesn't necessarily mean that people who have special needs are incapable of an education or are incapable of competing in sports or being in a friend group. It just takes a little bit longer to develop and to learn things. So James Ryan is a year behind in his school, but he can still do, math, and he can read, and he does science. It takes him a little bit longer to learn and obtain things like we do. So that's basically the main difference, other than maybe his appearance, but it doesn't make him any less of a kid, and it doesn't make him stupid. It doesn't make him dumb. It just makes him, it just takes him a longer time to learn and develop skills. So what I want you to take away from this video is that kids who have Down syndrome are not sick, and they're not weird. They really are just, teens or kids or adults that fit into our society in their own ways, just like you and just like I do. And I think if you really got the chance to get to know someone who had Down syndrome, specifically if you got to know James Ryan, you would just immediately fall in love with his funny and kind personality. And again, his Down syndrome is not what defines him. It's his playing baseball, and it's his loving The Greatest Showman movie, and it's his singing in the car all the time. It is not in any way his extra chromosome, and it is, again, it's a part of him, but it's not what defines him, and that goes for everyone who has Down syndrome. They are just so much stronger than their disabilities, and they are never defined by it, and it's a really great lesson for us as, people who don't have disabilities like people who have Down syndrome. It's just, we don't have to be defined by our weaknesses or our incapabilities or our slow development skills. We really are defined by our personalities as humans, and James Ryan has taught me that over all these years of being his sister, and I thank him so much for it.